Hello, everyone, and welcome to the Clean and Tidy Home Show Tea Break. Thank you for joining us today. I am Penny Moyses, the founder and event director of the Clean and Tidy Home Show, and I'm delighted to be joined today by Kathryn Lord from Organising. And as a mum of two young boys, I'm really excited that Kathryn is going to talk about how we can organise with children in mind. So I'm going to hand straight over to Kathryn for a quick introduction. Over to you, Kathryn.
I'm Kathryn Lord from Organising. I am the award-winning author of There's More to Books Than Reading, How to Help Your Child Bring Stories to Life. I started off my career as a teacher. I'm a qualified teacher with a master's in education. And in the playground, when I moved to being a nanny, parents and nannies would say, what books do you use for this? What activities do you recommend for that? And that's how More to Books was born. Fast forward 5 years, so January of this year, More to Organising came out because I've been a nanny for 7 years and I've learned how different families organise different plays and how I can support them and their children into organising rooms and routines to help their child run more smoothly.
How did organising really become a key focus for you? Can you talk us through that?
So just by chance, I met a lady called Suzanne Roynan, who is an interiors therapist, and we started working together. She came to my house. I've been in 3 houses and she's come to every single house, and she's been helping me declutter and get rid of things that were really holding me back. I had just one room in a tiny flat share and it was full to the brim of all the things that I ever owned. And I realised, well, she made me realise I didn't need it all. And then when I slowly unpicked and unpacked all the baggage that I had, life became easier. I was a travel nanny for a few years. So one of the challenges I had was packing for 3 different countries for 2 months at a time. So we're going to Switzerland, so you needed all your warm things. And then we went to Italy straight after that. And we also went to an island where we had to go on a helicopter. So I really had to be really clear on what could go on the helicopter, what had to stay on the airplane, what we needed to pack and what we needed where. But also, I've just finished a job where I was helping a separated family. So the mum and dad lived separately and myself and the children moved from house to house. So I needed to be really clear on where things were, where to get them. And sometimes we had to duplicate things. But during the pandemic, we needed to take their laptops, their homework, their science projects with us. So that really helped me become clear on how to organise effectively.
So why do you think parents and those caring for children get overwhelmed?
I think life is really busy. As a parent, you've got more to think about than just the child's routine and their belongings. As a nanny, it's literally my job to sort out their routines and their laundry and their schedule. Whereas as a parent, you've got more to think about. You've got your job to think about as well. I've been in experience of 3 siblings in many different families, and they've all got different schools, they've all got different schedules, they've all got different timetables of homework or sports clubs and things. So I think it's the mental load that the parents have. They've got a lot to think about. So if we can fine-tune their systems and help them declutter and organise and create routines that make life easier, it will work.
Sounds amazing to me. So talk us through how children think differently to us.
Children very much live in the moment. So they're about what's happening right now. And also they learn through play and they learn through experimenting, which as an adult can look like they're being naughty or messy. And actually they're just learning and they're just figuring things out. Lots of children like to feel independence or have independence. It's very hard. It is hard for them when we tell them what to do, what to wear, what to eat, and you wouldn't like it as an adult. So I think giving them some autonomy over their life and helping them become more independent is really important. There's also something called learned helplessness, which children learn if we do everything for them. So if they're trying to cut a piece of paper and we take it off them and cut it for them, they'll learn that they don't need that skill, or then they are not good enough and they can't do it. And I think it's our job to support them to know that they are capable of doing it. And yes, it'll take your patience, and yes, it will take time, but in the long run they'll be able to do it, and it'll make your life easier because then they'll be able to support you in other things as well.
Love the idea of making my life easier. I'd love to know more about that. So tell me, how do we go about doing that?
Okay, so you need to get really clear on what things you need in your house and what you don't need in your house. And I mean that as in things, belongings, but also your routines and the things that just don't serve you, like maybe having screen time in the morning isn't a practice that would serve us. So figuring out where to put that in our routine to support us in the long run. I had a client in America. She's online client, and I was supporting her organising her kitchen, and she loves her kitchen again because of the ideas and tips and tricks that I've supported her in to help her child be involved, but also to help her. And because she loves her kitchen again, she wants to be in it more, which I presume will mean that she's more excited to cook and bake with her children, which in turn supports her children to thrive better. I'm sure the feelings in their home are more positive because they're all loving the nice space that they're having there. Putting things to hand that we use all the time is also really helpful. So I know sometimes if you're looking for something for a long time, it distracts from actually doing the things that you actually want to do and love to do, and having systems in place which you all know, so not just you as the adults. If you let the children know where things are, then they can be involved in organising and supporting your family routines too.
Love that. I know that every morning when I leave the house, I think, why didn't I pack their bag last night? It would just make everything so much easier. And I need to get to that point where I'm doing that. But I love the idea of making children more independent and enabling them to be more independent. Can you talk us through that some more?
Yeah, definitely. Height is a massive thing. So a lot of the time families have homes where the children cannot be independent because they cannot reach something. And if you either just have a step so then they can reach it, or put the things, as long as it's safe, down below so then they can reach it. If you have a drawer for the children where all their plates and bowls and plastic cups are, then they can set the table themselves while you're cooking. I also support my children in meal prep together, so they know what to do, they can do it safely because I'm there, and that helps my routines as well. Child-friendly systems will help as well, such as colour coordination. Your child knows what colour their favourite book is even before they can read, so if they can know what colour it is, or it's their yellow book, they can pull it out and they can put it back. I actually had an example of this before I was an organiser. I had 5 library books that I took into the playroom, and over the weekend they got dissipated all in amongst all the other books. So on a Monday morning I had to go through probably 200 books to find these library books. Luckily I remembered what colour they were, but if I had already had that system in place, it would have been so much easier. I actually advise people not to put their library books in with the other books, just to keep them safer, and so then it's easier to take them back. Enabling their environment, meaning creating an environment that works for them and not against them, will help them become more independent. So such things like if they've got to do their homework and their pens don't work and they haven't got a pencil sharpener, or they haven't got the correct paper, that means it's taken away from the learning that the teacher has set them. And actually in the long run it's a life skill to have things ready for them, and if you're supporting them now, they'll know how to do that when they're older. I also advise themed boxes. Instead of having a box of jigsaws, have a box of things with dinosaurs. So you can have a reading opportunity, a writing opportunity, a fine motor skill opportunity, which would be a jigsaw, a role play opportunity, so you can have small world in there, which will help with their imagination and their communication as well. All this from your side as an adult, you need patience with them. You need expectations. So high expectations, you know that they can do it. Yes, it will take time at the beginning, but once they've got it, they'll be able to run with it. And encouragement from you as well.
I absolutely love that, and I'm excited to go and make some changes in my home already. But I'd love to know what your kind of key top tips would be for those of us that want to make a start on this.
Yeah, modelling is the most important bit. If you go into a house and say to a child, tidy up, what does that even mean? Tidy up, it's a very vague phrase. And I've got an example in my own life. I've had a cleaner for years, and then I got a new cleaner just recently, and she's doing the same job. She's cleaning my flat, but she's not doing it the same way the other one does it. It's not that she's necessarily wrong or right, it's that she's doing it the way that she does it, and I'm very, very grateful to have her. But if I say to one child, tidy up, and then I go and tidy up, it will be it's a different standard. So you need to model what you mean. And the way I do it is to do it with them. So I don't expect them to tidy up on their own. I think we're working as a team. It's an environment, yes, they've made the mess, they've played with those toys, but we need to show them how to care for those toys, how to respect the toys so then they don't break, and how to look after them. And if I'm not supporting them, if I'm not showing them how to do that, I don't expect them to know without my help. On teamwork, I also support children when I'm nannying to think about what they can do to support and help. So I do expect them to put their own laundry in the laundry basket. I do expect them to put their own plates in the sink and the rubbish in the bin. And they've realised that if they do that, there's more time to play together. So we work as a team, and then I can clear the kitchen faster because they're supporting and helping. And then we get to play together. We get to play chess, Monopoly, we get to play football in the garden because they've helped as a team. I also advise labelling words and pictures. Your child, even before they read, is capable of putting things back and taking things out. And if there's a picture there as well as the word, then they can do that too. That works for every member in your house. I've worked in multiple staffed homes, but also if you've got someone coming to stay, or if you've got a partner and other children, then they'll know where things are too, which will make it easier. Creating habits. It takes about 18 days to form a new habit, which is really hard. Have you ever tried to change a habit? If we support our children to create habits while they're young, it will just be second nature, and they won't even have to think about what to do. Yes, at the beginning, organising and decluttering does feel like a big job. However, once you've done it, the more you do it, the easier it gets.
Some really, really great tips there, but can you talk us through how far can we take this?
Okay, so family life is always changing, and what you need for your babies and your toddlers is different to what you need for your children and your teenagers. Motor organising is about creating life skills, so it's helping them as adults form skills that they can use when they grow up. You can just do a drawer at a time. You can just do one room. Which room in your house is causing you the most problems, or which routine? So sometimes it's meal time. So if meal times are very tricky, then organising your kitchen will be the way forward.
That's really, really great. So in terms of finding out more, if our listeners, if our community wants to find out more about you and the steps that they can take, what should they do?
You can head to www.more-to-organising.com or follow me on Instagram at more_to_organising. I do post daily.
Brilliant. Thank you so much, Kathryn. It's been really great talking to you. I know that I've certainly learned a lot and excited to make some changes and get some support from my little ones and set them up for kind of success as they grow. So thank you so much for joining us, and really excited to see you at the Clean and Tidy Home Show where people can find out more from you.